What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and another video on the BMW today. So then, in this video I want to talk a little bit about adjusting the wheel alignment on your BMW. So in the past week or so, I've actually replaced quite a lot of steering and suspension components. I've replaced the two front track rods and the track rod ends, and also the two rear toe adjusting control arms. And so that meant that I had to take my car in for a wheel alignment. A wheel alignment, especially on these cars, it's not really something that you can, do yourself at home without the specialist tools. Now, with these cars, they have with these cars they have a lot of adjustments that they can make. You can adjust the front and rear toe, the rear camber, and I also believe the caster as well, although that is pretty irrelevant. It's not something that you tend to need to change. So the most important thing is obviously the front and rear toe, and also the rear camber as well. Now, you might be asking, well, what about the front camber? I'll get onto that in a little bit, but basically for you to be able to adjust the whole wheel alignment for this car, it needs to go on a 4-wheel wheel alignment machine. Now in the UK we have a garage called Quick Fit, so that's like one of the workshop chains around the UK. And in those centres they have what's called a Hunter 4-wheel alignment machine, and this allows you to make all those different adjustments. Now some cars it's very simple. You simply just take your car to be tracked or to get the tracking done, and all that means is they'll change the front toe adjustments. They won't do any other adjustments. But it's very important now with a BMW or a car like this that you go on a 4-wheel wheel alignment. Now usually you will pay quite a bit more to get this done, obviously because it's a much more lengthy process and a lot more adjustments to make, and the machine itself is a lot more complex. So with that being said, I did go to Quick Fit. I actually bought the 2-year cover, and this means that I can have, I think, 8 adjustments over the, no, sorry, not 8 adjustments, not 8 single adjustments. I can go to the centre 8 times over 2 years and have as many adjustments as I want. So that's what I wanted, that's what I'd done anyway. I think it was like 120 quid. So if you do the math, it works out to about £15 each adjustment if you do it like that. But if you wanted to get it done just once, then you're probably looking at 60 to 80 quid. So they basically charge, if you was to just do it one time, on each adjustment that needs to be made. So it does make sense just to go for the 2-year cover. Then if it needs to be done again, then I can just go ahead and do so. Now with that being said, obviously I had to take my car in for quite a lot of major adjustments, because once I replaced the front track rods and track rod ends, my front toe was way out, and when I replaced the 2 rear control arms, my rear toe was way out as well. So the good thing as well, they also give you like a good printout, and it shows you what your measurements were before the adjustments, and then it shows you what the measurements were after the adjustments. And basically my front toe is pretty much bang on now, so my steering wheel is like very straight as I'm going straight down the road. My rear toe is pretty much bang on now, and my rear camber is pretty much bang on now, so I'm not going to be getting any wear on the in or outside of my tyre, or any excessive wear I should say. Now I'll say about the front camber as well. So the front camber is not something that you can change it, but it's not something that is changeable from factory. It's not like there is just an arm that you can adjust like an eccentric bolt or anything like that. Basically what it involves in doing is on the top of the struts at the front, you have 3 bolts, or it may be different depending on which model you have, but typically there's 3 bolts that hold these struts in place. And now there's a couple of methods you could do. You could either just loosen those 3 bolts, and you could physically move the strut, you know, with a screwdriver or pry bar, or however you want to do it, and obviously you have to measure the different adjustments, or you can use a tool. Now I actually have a toolkit to adjust pretty much any E-Series BMW, and I'll just explain quickly how this works. So this would sit on top of your strut, and you would loosen 2 of the bolts, the 2 bolts on the outside, and then this one I believe would go over the 3rd bolt, which is on the inside, closest to the engine. And then essentially what you'd do is move this nut, and that would bring one of the bolts inward. Well, it'd move the whole strut, but yeah, you'd basically be adjusting the camber that way. And that's like pretty much the only way to do it the kind of proper way. But there is actually a mounting pin which BMW put in from factory, just so you can have the factory spec, you know, camber, you know, how it's set up from factory. Now, to be able to adjust it, you actually have to smash out the pin, and then, you know, you obviously put that tool on. Now, I did try to get them to do it at the garage, but they didn't really feel comfortable, you know, smashing out the pin. And to be honest, they'd never even like seen this tool before. They wasn't, you know, trained with it or anything. So I may have to try and do that myself if I want it, you know, being adjusting. But to be honest, like the measurements after the alignment, my front camber on the left side, so on the near side, is only out by minus 0.34 degrees, and the right side, so the off side, is only out by minus 0.52 degrees. So it's, to be honest, it's not like massively out. If anything, like a bit of negative camber is actually good, because you're going to get better grip on the road, and it's going to be better for cornering and everything. So you know, I'll probably, you know, weigh that up at a later date. But it's, like I said, it's not something that you need to get done. Like if it was way out, you know, like a degree or something, then I'll probably, you know, look at doing that myself for sure. But whether or not I am going to bother doing it, I don't know. You know, if I see that my the inside of my tires are wearing excessively, then for sure I will address it then. Because, you know, these tires on BMWs are pretty expensive. They're like, you know, upwards of £200 a tire. So, you know, you don't want to be prematurely wearing them. So yeah, I just thought I'd make this little video, because there's you know, I've definitely done it myself in the past. You know, there's a lot of people out there who just go and take their car to your standard shop or garage, and they just do they just do your tracking. They just do, you know, a simple wheel alignment, which is only going to be your front toe adjustments. So it may be cheaper, but it's not the proper way to do it. You need to have the whole lot done. Okay, so that includes the rear toe adjustments and the rear camber adjustments as well. So yeah, I thought this video would help a few of you guys out. Of course, if you do have any questions, leave them down below. Give this video a like if you have enjoyed it, or if you've learned something and you want to see more videos like this. Subscribe as well if you haven't already, because I've got a whole load more car videos, you know, on this car, and I'll be rolling them out over the next few weeks or so. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a like I said, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you in that next video. Peace.